He's a financial consultant in Fresno or other things like that, but he's not that. He's an actor, and he writes really well on a blog called Fierce and Nerdy and Single White Nerdy. Did I get that right? Single White Guy. Did I get it wrong? You're in an audience. Come to the stage, Michael Pratt. Oh, you are? But you said in the program that you knew nothing about those.
I don't, which is what makes it
I don't
sad.
get irony. Oh, God.
Alright, let's do this, guys. Everybody sit up a little bit straight for me. Everybody just like one deep breath in. Ready? Awesome. Let's do it once more. Ready? I've been doing that for 45 minutes. I am in Pisac, Peru, which is in the Sacred Valley. It's about 40 minutes outside Cusco. I'm sitting in a circle with 20 people who I sort of know. We're all breathing. And my heart's beating fast. I'm covered in sweat because I know that any second, the puking's going to start. So this is an ayahuasca ceremony. Is anybody familiar with ayahuasca? Who has drank ayahuasca? Awesome. Don't. So here's the deal. Ayahuasca is this plant-based medicine that they use mostly in the Peruvian rainforest, and it is a couple of things. It's a hallucinogen combined with an MAO inhibitor, which in English means that it lowers your inhibitions, lets all of your suppressed trauma and memories up, and then the hallucinogen lets you see them. What the website said is that it's like 20 years of therapy in 5 hours. And I decided that this would be the best decision ever. I'd been dating someone and it had ended. I had recently left my job. I had been sad for many, many years. My life was like a really bad old school country song. And I decided that I would try new things. I never tried any kind of drugs, much less of a hallucinogen. So I Googled ayahuasca, Peru, and the shiniest website, I registered for that retreat. So, tonight, the night we're talking about is the second ceremony. There's actually already been one ayahuasca ceremony. The day that I got to Peru, we just jumped right in, and that one really sucked. Here's how these things work. There's a guy who leads it, and let's call him a shaman. It's not what they call him, but it's the closest we have. And he first invokes the protection of the mountains, and the plant spirits, and the Buddhas, and the Bodhisattvas, and Jesus, and Allah, and God, and everyone, because this is powerful shit, and you need a lot of protection. Once you do that, everybody's sitting in a circle, everybody's kind of freaking out, because they don't know what's going to happen, and one by one, you go up to the shaman, you kneel in front of him thusly, and you clasp your hands in this, if you do yoga, it's this like yoga thing, because words are not adequate to express the gratitude you feel to this disgusting brown tea you're about to drink. He gives you the cup, he pours it in, however much he thinks you need, gives you the cup, and you set an intention over it. Whatever you want the plant crap that tastes bad to tell you that night, you set that intention. Then you drink it, it tastes horrible, you go back, you breathe, and then you wait for it to take effect, and you know it's starting to take effect because the puking starts. It's a purge. It's disgusting. So the first ceremony, I did all that, I went, clasped my hands, was like, set my intention, teach me how to love myself, why not? Drank it, went, breathing, and as I'm breathing I'm thinking, this maybe is not, this is not for me. And when I heard the retching start across the room, because it hits the people who drank first, and the bile hitting the buckets, because they are very considerate and they give you buckets, I was sure that this was the worst mistake I'd ever made. But then, I started to see something. I started to see this golden chandelier. But it was more than that. It was like, I could tell somehow that it was a map to the universe. And if I could understand it somehow, I would understand the secrets to everything. And I understood that, and a question popped unbidden into my mind. Are you ready? And the answer was quick, faster than thought. No. And everything shut down. I spent the next 5 hours feeling faintly nauseous. After the ceremony ended, everybody else was like glowing. And they all looked at each other and they were like, that was amazing. And some people had seen serpents and jaguars. One dude saw God. There's tears streaming down people's faces and they turned to me and they're like, Mike, how was your journey? I wasn't ready. And I felt awful. Mother Ayahuasca, this sacred medicine, arguably one of the most potent hallucinogens on Earth, had decided not to fucking work with me. What the hell? I had gotten late class for kickball my entire childhood life. I was on a kickball team recently. They didn't pick me. My mom tried to kill me with a fucking novelty t-shirt. True story. Prom was a disaster. This was just the latest in a long string of rejections. Not only had I paid a lot of money to go to Peru for this medicine, but it hadn't worked. So tonight, the second ceremony, I was pissed off. I went in, I knelt down, and thank you. Mother Ayahuasca, show me who I am. Go big, it's not going to work anyway. The shaman looked at me with this glint in his eyes, and he poured, I think it was half the fucking bottle into the bottle. I drank it. I went, sit down. I'm breathing like we just were, 45 minutes. I hear the retching start. Horrible, disgusting, but this time something's different, because my head's tingling. And it's weird. It's not totally unpleasant. It's okay. I can handle this. It's okay. But it's like being carried in this weird fuzzy river thing. I don't know. It's okay. But because I can stay oriented, right? I still have space because I can see that there's a reflection on the floor, and I know that the door is 90 degrees away from the reflection. So if I need to leave the room, I'm okay. And if I open my eyes, I can say reflection door is great. And then the guy starts playing medicine songs. And I'm not okay, because it speeds up whatever's happening to me, and I'm being carried away in this river, and I get up to leave, but nothing's where I left it, because the reflection's moved over there, and I go to the reflection, and I turn to where I think the door is, but the door is really far away, and I go to the door, but the door's not there, and the handle's somewhere, I don't know, somehow I open the door, it's great, okay, I'm outside. Oh, okay. And I look up at the stars, and they're like a foot from my face, and now I'm definitely not okay. I thought last night was a mistake. Last night was fine because nothing was happening, and now this is not okay. This is not okay. And then my head flips open. My mouth opens. It feels like it's 180 degrees, and this sound comes out. And it's like no sound I've ever made. It is a keening that has this kind of ancient grief, like any sadness me or anyone else has ever felt, is contained in this keening. And the terrible thing is that I'm aware of what's going on, and I'm so not in control of it. I am along for the ride, and I can't stop it, and I can't breathe, and just when I'm panicking, I feel a hand on my neck and a voice saying, "Michael, this will pass." And I recognize it. It belongs to Milagros, who's the shaman's wife. And she takes me over to a chair. And not a chair, it's like a step. I don't know. I was so unaware of anything at this point. I was just glad that a human being was touching me. And she sits with me, and the keening keeps going, and she tells me to breathe. And all of a sudden, even though I know she's Milagros, she becomes something more. She becomes the universal Earth Mother or something. And suddenly I'm terrified that she's going to leave me. And I grab onto her, and I'm just like, "Please don't leave me, And I'm conscious. I'm like observing what's going on, but I can't control it. And she stays with me. And slowly the fear releases. And when she feels that it's okay for her to stand up and go, she does, but she leaves me